Welcome to another edition of Razorwire. This is James Rees from Razorthorn. It's for a coffee with Jim. First thing, Monday morning, get through the door. It's something I was kind of aware of over the weekend. I've been kind of keeping an eye on this whole ransomware thing going forward. The Colonial Pipeline that we've already covered. They've now confirmed that they did pay a fine. Well, fine, it wasn't a fine. They paid some of the ransom that was reported. It wasn't the full 5 mil, but it wasn't that far off. But there's been a number of other organisations who are reporting that they've been hit. Most notably, there was an Irish Department of Health, actually, looking at his notes on the left-hand side of the screen, hit by the Conti ransomware group. Basically, they got hit. They got actually supplied the decryption tool for free by the group, saying, "You're a health authority, I'm guessing. We don't want to cause any pain or any problem on that score. Here's the decryptor. You can now get access to your data." Unfortunately, they still had the ransom side of it that they're holding up, or allegedly they're holding up, saying, well, if you don't want this to be released, then we need to have further discussion. So there's going to be a monetary amount that the organisation is going to be expected to pay in order for that not to be released. So on one hand, this particular group have turned around and said, here's the decryptor, terribly sorry about that, but you still have to understand the consequences of not your actions, but of what has happened. We're still expecting some kind of payout. Otherwise, we'll release your information out onto the internet. So good in some respects that the Department of Health, the Irish Department of Health, can kind of recover from this and carry on doing the good work that they do. Not so good that they're still expected to pay, a monetary amount in order to prevent some of their key information from being released out onto the internet. And I'm sure it's got a few people worried this morning. Looking at the news from a variety of different sources, he says, again, looking over to the right. If you see me looking over to the right, I apologise. It's me just kind of making sure that I've got everything. I'm literally covering some of this as I've just literally read it. So I'm just double checking stuff. There have been a number of insurance companies and healthcare companies over the last, God knows how long now, that have been reporting that they have experienced ransomware attacks. CNA Reinsurance, funnily enough, a company I used to work for many, many years ago, very, very far back, right at the beginning of my career, have apparently paid 40 million to ransomware operators to get their files back. Doncaster insurance companies, OneCall, they've been done as well. They're reporting a 15 million heist demand. New Zealand hospitals have been reported to be infected. I mean, this is becoming very quickly a digital pandemic at a time where there's a real pandemic to deal with. This is tough, actually. This is going to be very tough for that industry. It shows that you actually have organizations, criminal organizations, actually targeting insurance, healthcare, that type of industry specifically, which puts everybody in that space at risk. Why they're doing it, I don't know. Obviously, insurance is pretty lucrative. Healthcare in some parts of the world is pretty lucrative. They also hold a lot of highly sensitive information on people. So there's more likely, I'm guessing, that they're expecting somebody will pay up. That's not always going to be the case. But I think we're going to be seeing a lot of releases of sensitive information going forward, which is not good for those organizations. It's not good for the people at large either, the people whose information has been compromised. This is rapidly reaching, a level, or ransomware is rapidly reaching a level where the amounts of money that we're seeing being asked, the problems associated with them, the damage and loss of service is reaching a ridiculous level of criticality. You know, on one hand, we've got people, organizations rather, running sort of oil and gas that are being hit. We've got insurance companies being hit. We've got health companies being hit. The list is rapidly increasing. We'll keep an eye on the news and what's going on, but seemingly, if you are in the insurance space, or you are in the healthcare space, or you are in the critical service space, maybe you're a service provider to that industry, maybe you're looking to get into that, maybe you're somebody who delivers services to an organization in that space, you are all going to have to start seriously thinking about buffing your security out. The problem we've had in the last year or so, since all the lockdowns, all the fear with the pandemic and everybody working from home, we've had to nail in a lot of kind of technical solutions that have allowed us to work in the current situation. And it's been put together with bubblegum and sticky tape, We haven't had time to sit down and look at the security changes that we need to seriously consider to bring our security back up to a pre-pandemic level where there's a certain level of assurance that there is a good level of protection. Why, I hear some people ask, well, for the last year, people and organizations have been worried, will they need their revenue? Will they need their budgets in order to keep their staff, to keep their operations up and running, to keep the rents on their offices paid, that kind of thing. So there's been very little expenditure in pretty much every part of every industry, bar acquisition of technology and only that which is needed to keep an organization running. The ransomware thing has been going for a while, but it seems to be ever increasing in the amount that's going on at the moment, how often we're getting reports of this. These are just 4 items that came out over the weekend. I'm guessing there's more. I'll need to read a little bit more into the news. Perhaps that was preemptive of me, but boom, I open up my news and that's what we've got. Come on, guys. Get in touch. If you are one of these types of organizations and you have concerns, you're worried about what's going on, reach out to information security people. If you have your own information security people, sit down, talk to them. What can we do to protect ourselves from this kind of thing happening? What can we do if we are affected by this to recover from, a ransomware attack without having to pay large amounts of money to individuals for what they've gotten for either the ransom side of it or the decryption side of it or both or whatever. Or if you don't have information security departments or people, within your organization, reach out. There's a number of information security firms out there. We're just one. Give us a shout. Ask the questions. We're more than happy to help. Anyone would be more than happy to help. Nobody wants to see healthcare companies being affected, which could have a knock-on effect to what's going on in the big wider world at the moment. Pharmaceutical companies are also being targeted, so I understand. I haven't seen too much at the moment, but I have heard on the grapevine they are, part of it. I think these guys are just going after everybody at the moment, to be honest, but they are seemingly concentrating on an area of the market where there could be some serious consequences to organizations trying to recover from what went on last year. Reach out. That's all you need to do. Just reach out. The cost required for securing yourself or putting in countermeasures to be able to recover from that is going to be impressively smaller than feasibly what you might have to pay in cover-up costs for paying a ransom or recovery costs from trying to recover without having a plan, without having anything in place to be able to protect yourself or recover from that. This is what security is. We are here to protect you and the assets and the organization. Okay? Just reach out. That's all we're asking. You never know. Lightning might strike. Okay? This is James Reese for Ransomware. I have a very, very short one this morning. Look after yourselves. We've got a number of other bits of content that we're looking to release. I have a short period of time to do some videos at the moment because I've got quite a busy week. So we'll see what we can do. If you like these videos, please feel free to click the subscribe button, press the notification button, leave a comment. If there's anything you want us to cover in more depth, leave a comment, drop us a line. Contact details are in the description. Okay. Overall, protect yourselves, look after yourselves, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.